The houses aren't being allocated to the correct people. I understand there's a point system. A friend of mine has a disabled child. She is absolutely desperate for a house. She's sleeping in her car and she can't get the adequate points in order to get a house in the area that she's lived in all her life.
I'm on the Shankill Road here. It's just at the junction of Canberra Street, Shankill Road, Ainsworth Avenue going that way. And there's been a group of people out here protesting for quite some time. They've spent weeks here, and consistently it's almost every night that they protest here. They're protesting in different areas of the Shankill. Now if you take a look at some of the signs here, Greater Shankill Concerned Residents says no to illegal immigrants. And will place great emphasis on the very fact they're saying illegal immigrants. Take a look at that next sign there where it says, did you vote for mass immigration? Neither did we, big question mark. Next sign here, who will protect our elderly and our vulnerable people? And again with a huge big question mark. Women are not safe to walk this area alone. That's very, very clear, striking message from these people on the Shankill Road. Now, I'm going to try to get to talk to some of them as I go. Again, I'm just looking at some of the signs here, and some of these people don't actually mind showing their faces. What you'll find is a lot of people won't show their faces because, then they're painted as being racist for having genuine concerns. West Belfast is not a dumping ground for foreigners. Get back to your own country. That's a hard-hitting message. Landlords, take notice. We are taking our community back. Greater Shankill Concerned Residents Group need you, and who will protect our children. So there you go. It's a small protest. They're blocking the road. It's a pretty effective protest. And one of the things that this protest has stood for in the last number of weeks is the very fact that, the people here are determined to return this community back to a sense of normality, a sense of stability. Now, why do I say that? There's been situations in the past where there's been reports, in fact, there's been video footage of people in different areas, newcomers to the parish, where they're walking around, they're exposing themselves in daylight in the streets, the women and children. Woodvale Park, I believe, has had a few problems, which is just located just up this way. And again, this is why those people are out to protest this evening on the Shankill Road. It seems as if the people here, they got a wee bit of support by a group of, what looks like mods, really, all in Vespas. They've come up to show a bit of support for the protest here and for the people of the Shankill. I've spoken to the people that are doing the protesting, and I've asked for a few of really what their concerns are. I've asked a few people about that. Now, I've got one lady, I've asked her nicely, would you come across? And it is me that is advising this lady not to put her face to camera, because we all know how that it is that some people try to suggest that people with genuine concerns, what they try to suggest is that they have other motives. They say that they're far right, they say that they're fascist, they say that they're racist, but whenever that you have an influx of people into a community, and whenever that the infrastructure in the community just won't facilitate that influx of people, and whenever that those people that come in, that they've been given a home, a place of sanctuary, and then they're out into the community causing all sorts of problems, including, I've seen it in the past few weeks there, and it was said by Councillor Ron McDowell of the TUV that, there's people walking around these streets exposing themselves in daylight and sexually harassing people. And, we don't want it to get to the stage, especially in this area, and this is what the community is relating to me, in where that a sexual assault actually takes place. So I would just like to ask this concerned resident, could you just tell me, in your own words, in a heartfelt way, what exactly are you concerned about?
I'm concerned about the fact that the people who are born and reared in this area can't get housing. So if we have a mass influx of people coming in, where are they going to stay? Where are they going to be housed? That's his problem.
And can I ask the question? But I mean, let's for a moment imagine that there was no newcomers to this area. I mean, would there still be a housing need in this area? I mean, I'm looking around and there's a lot of vacant sites. What I'm actually asking you is that, is there a lack of housing, even to facilitate the needs of the local community?
Yes, there absolutely is. I think there's something like 45,000 people waiting on a house from the housing executive. But our own people can't get housed, and they have to therefore move out of the area, changing their children's schools and everything else.
Yeah. And can I ask, I mean, I know the point system. I mean, I had a son that was looking for a house there not too long ago. And, when he was awarded, he tells me, is it 120 points? And I think that you needed around 200 points. And then he tells me that whenever newcomers come, because that they basically have nothing, they're going straight to the top of the points system in a lot of cases. I mean, are you witnessing in this area that whilst that there's people maybe applying for housing, not getting the required points, are you noticing that there's houses becoming available and there's some newcomers to the parish been put in those houses?
Yes, the houses aren't being allocated to the correct people. I understand there's a point system. A friend of mine has a disabled child. She is absolutely desperate for a house. She's sleeping in her car, and she can't get the adequate points in order to get a house in the area that she's lived in all her life.
Yeah. Now, I know that there's been a few instances in this area, and I just spoke about it just a few moments ago there, where Belfast City Councillor Ron McDowell of the TUV, and he's the deputy leader of the TUV, in where that he reported, and I'm taking Ron's word as gold. I know Ron, and Ron is a very genuine, honest man. And he tells me of a situation, well, not just me, but he has certainly done a video on social media claiming that there were people in the Boyd Street area in Peters Hill, newcomers to the parish. They're walking around in daylight. They're exposing themselves to the local community. And it's happened in other areas. I mean, can you tell me of any other things that would have happened which normally doesn't happen here? Is there anything that you can tell me about?
There's far too many instances to share right now, but just last weekend, the weekend before, a lady was walking up from Brown Square. She lives in the mid-Shankill, and a male of foreign origin went into Townsend Street and walked out again, and he was stood masturbating looking at her.
And that's the type of thing that the people here that I've been speaking to has been speaking about. And really, can I ask you one question, and we'll close very shortly, because I think what you're saying actually replicates what people are saying in all the places that I go to. That's whether that be in Northern Ireland or in other parts of the United Kingdom. But just in a few words, do women feel safe to walk the streets after dark on the Shankill now?
No, I don't feel safe, but a point I really must make is this is not against legal migrants or people coming here for education or a better life or businesses or anything like that. This is against people who are coming here undocumented, unvetted. We know no one knows about their criminal history and then what they're going to do to our area.
Yeah. And look, I'm not going to point the camera there, but I'm just looking across there, and I would like you to look. But there's a couple of local girls there. With a little girl of foreign origin. I mean, the girl looks African, but again, that really typifies that the people here are not racist. I mean, would you agree?
Absolutely, it is not about race at all. If these people were coming here and they were white, it doesn't matter. It's their intentions and what they actually do when they get here is the big problem, and it's been proved time and time again what they do when they get here.
How long have you been going, and how often do you do these protests?
So it's been going about 7 weeks, and the protest is at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesday and Friday at the top of Ainsworth Avenue on the Shankill Road. Again, just to point out, I think it's lovely that child is also with other children, and there is no racism. There's no room for racism. There's just no room. Sectarianism as well. There's no room for that in society. It's not about hating on people. It's about hating what they do.
Look, I can see why. I mean, I used to come from this area, and I can see why the people here at this protest have real, genuine concerns. So, Truth Podcast on the junction of Ainsworth Avenue and the Shankill Road, just really reporting on the genuine concerns of ordinary people who simply have had enough.
Echoes linger, they're still the home. Can't kill the truth with a hollow drone. Hands or eyes clenched in fists, history's patterns, they won't be missed.